Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 47 of the new Build Your Stash and Craft. This week we are going to make focused collage, and that is basically when we do collage backgrounds, you're just mixing a bunch of things together that winds up pleasing to the sight. With a focused collage, you're actually putting together parts from lots of different areas, different magazines or books or whatever, in order to make an actual picture. So that's what we're going to do today. And I thought that I'd really quickly go over our finances for the series. This series started out 47 weeks ago, and we were spending $7.50 a week, and anything we didn't spend, we were saving. So at this point in time, and the way that I do that is we take what we purchased for that week. This week we purchased cardstock, which was over our $7.50, but we still had money in our bank. So we had $96.25 in our bank. We spent an extra $1.25, so that took our bank down to $95. And this week we bought these three items at the Dollar Tree for $3.75, so that went ahead and saved $3.75 out of our $7.50. And it took our balance back up to $98.75. So as we go through this, at the end of this week, when we put our money in the bank, because we didn't spend anything last week, and we're not spending anything this week, so we will have $113.75 in the bank. Next week, I actually put this down for next week, but it's going to be for the week after next. Next week, we're going to do something again with what we already have, so that we're not trying to go to the store and get anything, during the holidays. So next week, we are going to do just some types of embellishments, or I'm thinking maybe some snippets, maybe fabric and paper. I'm not exactly sure. So this is going to actually be week 49, and week 48, which is next week, we will do snippets. And again, nothing will be spent, and we're going to make snippets because I did have a request for those, and I was going to do them back here, when we did the ATCs, but I didn't get around to it. So we're going to do it next week. So this is going to be week 48. But what we are going to do, and so this gives us a couple of weeks to do it. If you're still going out shopping, this is a really busy time of the year. But I'm thinking that maybe if the weather's decent for us, and my hubby's off between Christmas and New Year's, I thought maybe we would go to the city. That way I could go to like Joann's and Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I could go to some different places and look at punches. So what we're going to do for week after next is we're going to take our $7.50 that we have for that week, and we're going to take $50 out of our bank. So that will leave us with $63.75 in our bank still. So, the one thing that this series is here for is to show you that, number one, there's a lot of things you can do on your own where you don't have to buy the expensive product. And number two, even at $7.50 a week, over this past year, we have saved almost $114. So, and we do have some nice things, and we've been crafting the whole time. So the biggest thing is that you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to create. And to me, if you don't spend a lot of money to create, the creating is much more enjoyable because you're not worried about what you've spent, or you want everything that everybody else has and you don't have it. So we have a little bit of everything. At this point in time, we could probably do anything that we wanted to do. Oh, maybe not. We haven't bought plaster or something like that, so we haven't made any molds. But, there are still so many things that we can do. And so, we'll go ahead and, maybe we'll pick up some mold. I can't even think of it. The product to make it with, Amazing Mold Putty. Maybe we'll pick that up in a few weeks or something because we have plenty of money to do that with, and that is a fun thing to do also. But yeah, so the series is just to show you that you really can create on a small budget, and a lot of things you may even already have in your stash or even in your home. So We're going to take $57.50 over the next 2 weeks and look for some punches. Now, there are a couple punches I recommend. Number one is a 1.5 inch hole punch. A 1 inch hole punch is smaller than you think it is. It's very small. The 1.5 to me is a nicer size for a lot of different things. Now, that's totally up to you. If you want a 1 inch, get a 1 inch, but I do recommend a 1.5 inch hole punch, a butterfly punch, and heart punches are nice, but hearts are pretty easy to do yourself. So, you know, the 1.5 inch punch, round punch, and a butterfly punch, and maybe a flower punch. And the flower punches, sometimes you can get, well, I have one right here. This is Stamping Up. I got this actually at a secondhand store for $3. But see, it has 3 different sizes of small flowers. That's really fun to do because then you can layer them up with each other. You know, so if you can find something like that, and if you can look at your secondhand stores, look at like Facebook Marketplace or those types of things where you might be able to find some punches at an even more reasonable price. So, but that's the thing, maybe some small flowers or even large flowers. It's really hard. Like I've shown you how to cut your own large flowers. It's hard to cut the tiny ones like this. It's easier to cut larger ones like this because you've got more to work with. So if you had to choose between a small flower or a large flower, you know, the smaller flowers to me actually are a little bit better because you can make your own big flowers. You can make your own hearts. But the circles for me are hard to cut. Even if I draw a circle, it's hard for me to cut it kind of perfectly. And, you know, little tiny flowers are hard to cut. And butterflies are just, they're nice to have a punch for a butterfly. Whether you're making cards or a layout or you can make buttons with them, all sorts of things. So that's what we're going to get, is we're going to get some. And I put stamps here, but I didn't mean stamps. I actually meant punches. We've made a lot of our own stamps. We don't necessarily need to buy any. If you have a bunch of punches and you want to buy some stamps, if you have all the punches that you want, either save that for another time or use it to buy yourself some other nice thing out of the bank. So, okay, that's enough of that. All right, let's move on. So this week's focused collage. And what do I mean by that? Okay, now this is just a, I forget what they call them, but it's just a book. And I had a lot of washi tape, and so I did like 2 or 3 pages together, and composition book. I just glued 2 or 3 pages together, and then I put some washi tape around the edges just to make it a little bit heavier. And this, I made it up for a glue book. So, and I throw in some things that I like the looks of, like these are not glued in yet. And here I just went ahead and cut out of a magazine little petals for flowers. And this was not a tree. I just cut that out of a brown piece. Right here is like somebody's arm, and there's a little bracelet there and stuff, but you don't really notice it when you're just looking. So, and like here is a little dog, which I gave her a little flower crown, and then this bracelet was in a magazine, and so I cut the bracelet out, and then I slit the flowers. I kind of decided where I wanted that bracelet to go to really give her crown a little, you know, point and bling at the top. And then I just slit that and slid it in behind the flowers so that it made it all look more like one. So, and then here's just a couple of others. I like to use animal faces and human bodies, or human faces with animal bodies. I just think it's fun. It's me. I'm kind of odd. But, so then we have this one with the lizard and a flower hat, and these pants and this body. Those are 2 separate pictures. We've got some arms here. The legs are made out of, I think that was the chain, what do you call it? The handle of a purse, and then some feet. So they're fun to play with. They're just a fun thing to do. And depending on where I'm at, like these ones I had made at my chair, so they're not in the book because my book wasn't there. So I just put them on some paper. This is some Oriental writing out of a book. And so I put it on here. And then This is washi tape at the top and all my different pieces. I put it on some music paper and then cut around it and glued it onto the book with a little bit of color in the background. But so I just kind of glue it to whatever I had. At the time, I had a music book by me, and so I was cutting them out and I was gluing them into the music book. And so here we've got the little dog head with someone playing the guitar, and this part of the body is that this part of the body goes with the guitar. This does not. And this person was painting. So like those two are, this is one half and this is another half. This person is painting, so they've got a paintbrush in their hand. I just cut around the hand so that I could put it on top of the guitar. Those are the things that make them more fun to look at, is when you can fit them together. So, and then we have a pair of boots that does not go with the pants. You know, like, I mean, those were separate pieces. So you just go through and you find whatever you think is something that would be fun to put together and fun to play with. This one, I gave him a teddy bear. And again, oh, and he's got monkey arms, and the teddy bears fit in behind the arm and behind his head so that it looks more like it's not just pasted right on top of his face. So, and he's got bare feet and a lion's tail, I think. And then here we just have, now on this one, see, this one has a collaged background. And so that day when I was doing this, I was making a collage background. And then it was a later date, I decided to make this focused collage. And then I just stuck it on top of that collage background. So, but again, we've got part of a bird, and then we've got the skirt with the arm, little purses going over top of the wing. And actually, I probably should have cut that wing up like that and slid the purse up with the wing coming over it. That would have been better. And so that's what we're going to do today. And so we'll just kind of get to it. I've already looked through some magazines to kind of pick some things out. You're going to want something to put it on. So I just grabbed a piece of not scrap paper, but a piece of paper that we have in our stash that was already colored. And I thought this would be kind of nice because this has got orange and yellow, and this side has got purple and blue. So depending on where it looks better, I've got a choice of where I want to put it. So, and it doesn't have to be like I folded it in half like a book page, but you can go ahead and you can make them, you can frame them. You can get yourself a glue book, and you know, this one is just all different bits of washi tape on the front, and just get yourself a glue book to glue things into. And you know, there's another one, but just so that you have a place to keep them. They're really not for anything other than to create, to feel creative, and to have a good time doing it. That's what creating is all about. It's not about selling it or making it for someone, although it is nice to make things for someone, but that the point of creating is because you enjoy doing it. It doesn't have to be for any reason whatsoever. So the first thing that I do is I try and find like a body, a head, arms, legs, that type of thing, and then even some accessories. So as I was going through, this is a catalog, and we still get these from when our girls were younger. They rode horses. They're both grown and gone now, but, and I thought that this would make a good body. So I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm going to leave that buckle on the top, even though, and I'm not going to worry about how well I cut around it, because that's where I'm probably going to put my head, and it will give me something to glue to. So a lot of times when I'll do a body, even if there wasn't that buckle there, I would just leave some of the extra paper at the top, because that gives me something to glue my head to. And a lot of times I like to do human bodies with animal heads, or animal bodies with human heads. I think I already said that in the other one. But, you know, just however you want to do it, you know, it's just basically fun to put it together. Okay, so there's our body. So if that was going to be our body, I'm just going to set that there for now. And then I was looking at this, and I like her arms here, and I was trying to see, I couldn't tell till I cut this out whether they would fit or not. But if I cut across here, her arms would fit. I think that that is going to work. So we're going to try that. And I get my magazines at, I'm going to cut across there. because I don't like to use like a whole lot of one picture. I like the arms from one picture, the legs from another, the face from another. But again, you can do that however feels right for you. If you want to take the head along with the arms so that you don't have to find a different head, you can do that. And you know that those are going to fit together well. You want to kind of try and watch scale. Now, sometimes it's fun to really do something off scale. But a lot of times you'll find that you think that they'll look better if there is scale to them. So, you know, like if it seems to fit without it being huge hands and, you know, little tiny arms or something. But like I said, sometimes it's fun to do that too. I'm just going to, because I don't want those stripes behind her hand, I am going to go ahead and just fussy cut those out of there. You can cut things just as much as you want. You don't have to be so fussy about it. It's however you feel like you want to do that. And again, this is just it's a very nice project to just sit in your chair. my husband and I were watching something on TV. Excuse me. And I was just going through the magazines trying to find some things that might work for this video. Because it takes a little while. But it is a nice thing to do while you're just sitting in the evening. Even the gluing part. And I'm actually going to... Let me see, how far do I want to? Maybe I don't... I'm trying to think if I want to leave the neckline there, because this is I'm gonna take it off anyways. Just gonna have a shirt here. Oh wait, this is gonna go behind. Sorry, not thinking. This is going back here. Yes. Okay, so I don't even need to worry about that at all. I'm gonna keep some of these shoulders. I'm gonna come in and get to her arms, because I want them to be in front of the body, not behind. So I'm just going to cut her arms out. I'm not sure how long that this is going to take. Hopefully it doesn't take forever. That's why I went through and tried to pick some things first so that I wasn't doing the looking part, because, you know, it takes a little bit to cut them out. But it's just fun to go through and try and... I'm just going to kind of bring this up to here and see what I need. Okay, so this is going to go here. These are going to go here. Okay, so I'm going to put that like that. And so I'm going to I'm going to need something to take care of the hair that's here. Whether it's hair or whatever, I'll have to figure that out when the time comes. I don't usually glue things together until I know that I kind of have what I want. Because a lot of times I'll come across another picture that I like better. Okay, now I grabbed out these hats because I thought maybe whatever we have here is going to want a hat. I'm going to set that aside for now. Because I'm not sure what our head is going to look like. But we need feet. And I like these boots. So this person is going to get these legs. And because they're hooked together, I don't have to worry about the pieces getting lost. But if they're not hooked together, just like have a spot where you can keep your pieces together. I tend to, when I'm sitting in my chair, sometimes I lose them. And it's like, doggone, what happened to that arm I just had right here? And if you want to cut between them, which I'm going to, you can. But if you want to just leave that background there, you can do that too. This is just for you. It's just to have fun. Some of them that I make, I just love. Some of them that I make, I'll look the next time I go through my book and I'll think, what was I thinking? So, and some of them, as I'm making them, I just kind of give up and start another one, or just throw my pieces away because I just don't want them, because I just don't like it. And usually when I do that, it's because I'm not in the mood. You know, it's like I'm kind of forcing myself to do something, so I think, oh, I'll do one of those. But really, I'm not in the mood to do it. So, you know, this is kind of like just just fun. You know, this is just to have fun with. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you're not in a good mood, okay, so there we've got our legs, and we might put it down here or up here. We might shorten this up. We'll see when we get that far. So what did I have here? Okay, now I thought about this face here because he's kind of funny, but I decided against it because it just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't go. And there again, this is so whimsical, and this is going to be whimsical when you're done. I mean, it's not going to be anything normal, but he's cute, but I decided against him. Alrighty, so then we're going to need a belt for our arms are up this way. Our belt's going to be right about there then. And I thought that this would make a cute belt. So I'm going to just, and maybe this is what we'll use for the belt, maybe not. Because I've already looked through, I think I have a couple things picked for belts. But, you know, it does take a while to decide exactly what you want to do. It doesn't have to be super fast. So we're going to put that one there for now and see what else we have in here. Oh, I was thinking that the kitty head would be really kind of cute on here. Now, if we take the kitty head and put it on there, it might be way too big. But this one, I think would be a much better size. So let's see. But it could be big. It doesn't, you know, you do have to watch scale, but there are things that you might totally put out of scale, cut out, and you know it's going to not be into scale because that's the way you wanted to do it. So, you know, sometimes I will put a very large head or really large feet or something. But then most everything else I have in scale. Okay, so we'll get this little guy clipped out. And these are even fun. You know, like this little cat head is really quite cute. This would be fun to put on the front of a snippet. You know, to me, I usually make them more just kind of like decorative. They don't have a focal point like this. But as I was just cutting it out, I thought, well, that might be kind of cute. All right, what did I do with my paper? I think I'm going to set this on here. Because wherever you're going to want to put it, you also need to make sure it's going to fit on there when you're done. Because I have made them before where, okay, so like with this one right here, unless I shorten the dress, we're going to have to put that up that high in order to make it fit onto. And don't forget, you can do things like, you know, turn the heads. They don't need to be right straight on. Like we've got the arms here. Put this arm. Because maybe see, I might bring the head down that far to cover up that hair. And then I'll just take that off of there. He's probably going to get a hat anyways because I like hats. And I think that this one, oh, we're already at 23 minutes. I really kind of want to see how this one will look because I'm thinking maybe to cover the hair, and just because it's kind of the mood I'm in, I'm kind of thinking I may want an oversized face. And like I said, it is something, you know, I have already sat down and chosen these things. And normally I don't do it like that. Normally I kind of like cut out the body and go, okay, now I've got my body. And then I look for the arms or the legs or, you know, I just kind of look through. And as I go, I cut them then. But I kind of just wanted to show you like kind of the process other than the looking for it. All right, so if we've got that. No, I don't like, well, maybe I do looking at it through the camera. We'll keep them both there because I'm not sure. What did I have this one turn out for? That heart is really kind of cute. And so I'm going to cut that out just because I think it's fun. And yes, it's bacon and eggs, and it does pretty much look like bacon and eggs, but it's still cute. And a lot of times once you get them cut out and the toast behind it is gone and the silverware is gone, you know exactly what it is. But a lot of times other people, when they're looking, they would not even notice that that's what it was. And even if they do, that's the fun part of it, really. I took all these things and I put them together. So that might just be in the background. It might not even be part of that. I just liked this little guy swimming in the, and I'm not sure what for. I thought maybe for a necklace or something, but I'm just going to put that there too. Alrighty. And what was on here? Oh, this is what I was going to show you too. See, this is kind of what we're doing. This is an actual ad in the magazine. We've got the wolves in human clothes with the little baby. So, you know, so the thing is that you can make things however you however you want to do it. That's the fun part of it. I'm not sure why I liked this pencil, but I did. So I'm just going to quickly cut that out and put it with this. And we may not totally finish this today. I might do a little decorating of it after we get off of here. And I'll show it to you when we come back next week to do the snippets. Just because of time-wise. Now, the other thing is I did this page for lips and eyes. Because maybe these are going to be your heads. I'm going to put those two because those are all just extras. I'm going to set them in the back. Okay, so these are your heads, but maybe you want to give them lips. Because a lot of times it's really fun to do that. Go ahead and give an animal human lips or eyes. And again, why? Just because you can. Whoops. So there's our kitty. And that's kind of cute. What about on this little guy? Oh yeah, that's cute. Now, I normally put them together with stick glue. A lot of stick glues don't last forever. To me, that's okay. I can always glue it back down again later. Excuse me. If I want to. But it holds all right. And when you're doing it, you know, your lips got the little dip under your nose. So I want to make sure I get that little dip under his nose or her nose. Just to make sure that it looks, that's the kind of things that makes it look correct or sometimes not correct, is spacing things too far apart, which, like, a lot of times you might do eyes too far apart or too close together on purpose. But, you know, like that, when the mouth has the little dip, you may want to make sure that you get that under the nose, kind of like it's supposed to be, because it almost makes it look like that's where it is supposed to be. Now this lady, even from the start, kind of has a bit of a pouty look. She doesn't necessarily have happy eyes. And so I really don't like the eyes on there, because to me, they look sad. And so I don't want to put sad eyes on my kitty. So maybe I'll find some happy eyes and put some happy eyes on there. But she just had that look on her face. When you smile, and people used to say about the mask that, you know, you couldn't tell if somebody was happy or not. But usually, you know, like if somebody is smiling, you can see it in their eyes that they're smiling. Okay, I was looking at this one, and I thought that this might make a good hat. And actually, I really liked this one. better. So this is just the top of a perfume bottle. And it's not actually rounded here, but I'm going to kind of round it because it will make it look a little bit, to me, more like it's a hat. And I kind of did that wrong. I was thinking, see, it's like a square on the top, like a glass square on top of there. And I was going to actually go around that part of it. But I didn't. So, you know what? It's all right. It must not have been meant to be then. So there we go. And I'm going to... there. Round it up a little bit. Oh, and that's cute, I think. He's got a hat with a bow. Keep calling the kitty a he. Okay, so then we also have these. I have to pick... oh, I had to pick up my scissors. I dropped them. Okay, so I thought belt maybe. Actually, that might make a prettier belt. And I thought earrings. I thought this would make cute earrings. And I'm going to cut out the whole thing. And then if I think it's too long, I can always cut some off later. Okay. So just... and I will probably cut these out even closer, although this is not looking super bad, leaving a little bit of white behind it. So maybe I might leave it this way. But for now, I just kind of want to see what is it going to look like. Okay, come on. Hands. Face, hat, earrings, and maybe that hair is really bothering me on that shirt. So what I can do is just maybe cover it with some white paper in that area. So it looks like it's just a white shirt instead of having that hair there, because it's bothering me and it's down far enough that I don't think I can cover it with the head, or although I want to try and put a necklace on and maybe the necklace will cover it. Okay, so kind of there's our earrings. Alrighty. And I do think that I want this for, and what you can do too is if you find stuff that you like there's another one that's just like this, it's kind of pretty. You can make yourself a little folder, and you can make a folder of arms, a folder of legs, a folder of hands and feet, because sometimes you only need the hands and the feet, because this might be your arm, so it will need a hand. And just do a few folders and then keep them in one larger folder so that they're all together. And I do that sometimes just so that I have, if I have something that I actually do have a big box of them, but I don't necessarily go to that to make the whole thing. But it's nice when you need something that you can possibly just go to that and just like, I really need like a belt. Okay, I'm going to cover this with, and I'm pretty sure that was it's heavy cardstock, so I'm going to, although that doesn't have stripes on it. Okay. Just going to do this, and I'm just going to glue it right on there. Okay, and I'm going to kind of rip it a little bit. See, the part that you pull towards you will not have the fuzzy edge or the white edge, so I'm just going to take that, I'm going to glue it on there. After it dries, I will turn it over and cut around it on the back, and then both of her arms are going to be white, because that's absolutely throwing me off completely. And sometimes you'll find that that happens, like you just can't get past the way that something looks. So try and fix that so that it doesn't, because I don't want to get rid of these arms. I really like the way that they fit around the body. So there we go. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit while we're looking. I'm going to put this back over here in case we still want that. What else do we have here? Oh, this was another one that I really liked for the belt, this watch. I thought that would make a really cool belt. And out of the three things that I've cut out for the belt, I think that this one is going to be my favorite. But it's nice to have them. And like I said, I can always keep those other things that I cut out for another picture, or use them even for something else in this picture. I mean, that one works pretty good, but that's the one, I think. That's my belt. There's even a purse that had a strap. I could put the strap over the arm of the purse, but then it would come in the front, and I don't want to cover up my pretty belt. So that was, what do we have on this one? Oh, I really liked this right here, and I thought that that might be something. But for the cat, I don't like it as much, so we're not going to use it for this one. I really liked this shawl, and that actually might fit around those arms really well. So I'm going to cut it out, and we're going to try it. And a lot of times you don't want just like a straight cut. So just go ahead and, you know, kind of, you don't have to cut every little teeny tiny hair super close or anything, but just kind of give it some movement by using your scissors to give it a bit of a wave. So while I'm finishing this up, I hope that everyone has a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, or Happy Holidays if you have another holiday. So our oldest daughter is going to come for Christmas afternoon dinner. And our youngest, of course, is in Oklahoma. So we got to see her for Thanksgiving. And that was really nice. But so we're going to have just a quiet Christmas at home. Although yesterday, for the first time, I got to light our wood stove. So, because it has to be 32 and stay below 32 in order to have it lit. Otherwise, it makes the house just way too hot, and it's too hard to try and cool it down. So for the first time yesterday, I lit the fire, relit it this morning after we got up, and it has just been lovely. It's my favorite part of winter. I don't mind winter because I get to have a fire. I don't like to play in the snow, but I love to sit by the fire. And since hubby's off a couple weeks for the holidays, I think we're going to probably sit in front of the fire and maybe play some cards, put together some puzzles, something like that. I want to keep these together because they have their own correct spacing. Then I don't have to figure out how to space them on there. I can always take them apart if I need to. And I may need to because I want them to fit onto the arms that I already have cut out. Okay. So these are arms. I need to get that off. Oh, look at that. Probably didn't need to put that on there. Well, it's there now, so it's going to stay. I did find something to cover it up with. I didn't think I would. Alrighty. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to shorten up this part. I'm going to start putting it together. Okay, I kind of want some, well, we're just going to have boots. Take my bits. I'll put all the bits up there. Okay. So yeah, at one point when I get a lot of bits that I know that I'm going to use, like I know I'm using these legs, and don't float your person in the middle of nowhere. Go ahead and put them on the bottom if you can, or put something underneath them to figure out what I did with that. Put something underneath them for them to stand on. Let's see. There we go. And I like to use my magazines as what people call glue books, like glue pages, because then I can just flip the page. Okay. And a lot of times, because this glue doesn't stick super well, and it's a whole page and both sides are shiny, after they dry, you can peel them apart also. See, that one had been used, and I can get it apart. And I keep my magazines for quite some time until I know that I'm not going to use any more out of them. And also, oh, I did that wrong. So quickly grab that and get it up here. I got to have my arms on there, and I don't, oh yeah, I probably will have all that. All right, so let's get the arms on here. Trying to figure out if that's just too high. And I don't think so. I think that's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit here to help me keep it where I want it. And a lot of times I do just glue bits, you know, just a little glue here and a little glue there, because you can always go and glue it back down later. I don't want to push that down yet because we want to put the shawl on. Seeing how that little bit of the shawl is going to come around the front there. Now maybe is it a little too much? No, I think I like it. So it is going to stick down right there. Here we go. Now we've got our belt to put in here. Where's our belt going to be? We want it. Yep, that looks good to me. And so that's just how you do your collage. As a focus instead of as a background, is you just play with it. Now, the one thing that I did do with this that I should not have is I glued the whole thing, and I need to trim it around the dress. It is a, I should have put, there's my scissors, the belt on the dress and then folded it around the back before I glued the dress down. But since I didn't, I'll just have to make it work. There we go. And then we have our head. And then we need our earrings. Oh, we didn't find a necklace yet. Want to make sure that that's not too low. And it is too low. Oh, come on, Kiki. There we go. That glue stick dries really fast. There. Oh, maybe we should have, too late now. Kind of give the kitty, oh, okay. I was gonna, like cock the kitty's head a little bit, but because I already put it there, it is gonna stay there. And then we have our earrings. And I'm thinking I'm going to make it come right down to the blue one there. And where's the other one? There it is. Hopefully they're the same color. Not quite, but that one still has a blue one. Oh yeah, I had it upside down. There we go. And I kind of think just want to make sure that I kind of get it in the right spot so that it actually looks like it's supposed to be an earring. There we go. I think it's time to glue the hands down. And we need our hat. And I put it down too far on the cat's head so the rounded part does not look like it's actually sitting on the cat's head. So let's do it again. And that's the thing. The more you do it, the easier it becomes as far as like figuring those kind of things out. So there's the roundness of the cat's head because you can see it there with the ears. So that's where the hat goes. Okay, now it's not the most fun one that I have ever done. Oh, and I wanted to show you too. This, and of course these are old magazines, but this bottle right here, it also makes for a really nice body and neck. It also, you can cut it off and it makes a really cool hat. So remember, look at things in just different ways because it's really fun. Oh, flowers like this, to cut that out and put it on the top as a hat is really fun. Necklaces that are already necklaces, you can cut out and put them on your projects. This makes for a nice background. Like I could have just put the kitty on there like that. And I might even still maybe do that. Maybe just cut around this a little bit and then put it right here in the center. So, but that is just a really fun way to do a focused collage. Now, I probably should have maybe cut these out, just the earrings a little bit smaller to get rid of the white. Maybe some happy human eyes might be really cute on it. But there's just so many ways that you can go. It's still fun. It's going to go in my book. And, but I think I'm going to glue it right onto this bit here. So, I really have to hurry because if I hit 60 minutes, then I don't think it will upload. So, but thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you all have an outstanding holiday season. And I will see you next week with no supply list. And week after next with $57.50 spent out of our budget for punches. So thank you again. It's been a great year. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.